Oh, we'll start speaking. We'll start teaching when it is exactly 5 minutes. Okay, when the 0 tends to 5, then we'll start speaking. I don't know what they are trying to say. So. Greetings, Queen. It's okay. Welcome everybody. Share the links. Share the links and let's begin. Yesterday I couldn't sleep early, so please let's start this as early as we can. Okay. If the 1 tends to 5, we'll start speaking. Those that will come early, you get the worm, and those that comes later, then they can have whatever that we've gotten to, we can continue it from there. Okay. Greetings, Queen. Razim T. Am I an American? Yes. Mm. America is one with me. I am one with America. I am one with everything. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's great. Greetings. Ah. So how do you pronounce that? Sorry, I know you can pronounce this, but is it Turkey or Turkey? Mm? People say Turkey, it's like that's the animal. So now it's Turkey or how do you pronounce that? Our Australian people. Queen, I hope you are doing great. Derek, gracias. Thank you. Okay. Greetings, Queen. If yeah, I think we can start now. Okay. I think we can start now. So yesterday I was speaking about how you are one with everything. Okay, you are not just the leg and then the hand or the eyes or the throat or the ears. You are one that connects with everything, and one is everything that is connected to you. Okay, there is no half things, there is no everything. Okay, always comes as a full design of the reflection of what you actually represent, because that is what you are. It's a mirroring. You need to see yourself in order to connect yourself. Okay, thank you. Your point is that network really that bad? Because yesterday I felt like we had some good lessons going, and my phone battery suddenly died. Okay, the video too, I didn't get it back on YouTube. So the network is really that bad. Eh? The network is really that bad, huh? If yeah, it looks like your network is really that bad, huh? Greetings, greetings. Where's my- Okay, everyone, I want to know, is the network bad everywhere or is just one particular place? La la. Okay, okay. So let's continue. Okay. So I want to always explain this, okay, from the beginning point of the things, so that you will get the innate understanding of where everything started, okay, and why everything is always a reflection of itself. You are teaching point B, and point B is teaching point C, and point C is teaching point D. Every single one of you is always learning and then exchanging. That is how you grow. That is what creativity is. Okay, in a way that you are put in one particular system line, then that becomes order. Okay, it becomes arranged. There is no outside the circles. But when you begin to start reasoning from the outside of things, then that is when creativity happens. Okay, so that is chaos and then order. Nature is an organized chaos. Okay, yeah, it's two things. It doesn't deal with one leaving the one. When too much pressure is applied to order, then chaos occurs, and when there's too much chaos, then order restores harmony. You understand? That is how they move together. They're supposed to be in a balanced state, but everything about you, has already been inside of yourself. So that part of you that they don't want you to understand, so they will take that part of you out and then leave you with order. Okay, you will only be acting on your basic instincts because this one is not there. This one is not there. and you manifesting, you are already solid. So all they have to do is give you the long rope, and then you hang yourself up. Okay, that's what they do. So you started from here no, as that one single cellular cell, even from your developmental stages inside the uteruses of your mother's womb. That is exactly the depiction of you. Okay. Okay. The phone Ah, yeah. I know. Okay. So let's continue. Let's continue with the teachings. So when you look at this, this is the cradle of your beginning, and this is the cradle of existence. Okay. So it's from this that came this, and from this came that. Okay, you are a reflection of each other. Everything about this from the beginning of your amniotic sac as a single seed coiling itself from 6 to 9, because 9 is the same thing as 6. Okay, when you reverse 9 upside down you get 6, and when you reverse 6 upside down you get 9. A 69 will give you 8. A 8 is between you, the head as the heavens, and then your body as the earth. Okay, that is what 8 is. We divide 8 into 2, then you get 3, 3. Okay, your ribs cage, there are 12 rib cages here, there is 12 rib cages here. Okay, which you add 1 plus 2 will give you 3, which is the east, and you add 1 plus 2 will give you 3, the east. You understand? The 33 ribs of your entire being, that is what it comes from. You divide it into 2, then you get your spine as your meridian line, which is this one. You understand? You put this into 2, you get the meridian line, which is your spine that develop down, and then your hands, and then your hand. Okay, so the crucifixion is about sucking down the energies from the east to the west side, and then from the void. Okay, it's all three things. You are here, you are there, and you are there. What you've forgotten is there. Okay, the only thing you've forgotten is the upper part of yourself, which deals with the memory. Your remembrance rate, that is it. Okay, so that is what the crucifixion is about. It's about shutting down your energy centers, preventing you from transmuting from both left side of yourself and the right side of yourself. Okay, they prevent you from transmuting these energies, and the most dominant energy becomes the right side, because that the left side, no, because that is where it's big. Okay, that is the reptilian side of yourself. That is the using facial expressions for everything. You will trust the face, and the face will put into trouble. The face will betray you, because you are only seeing the face without the soul. You understand? You are judging things based on this, and this is the physical extent of it. Okay, you are already physical. So now that you are physical, they don't have to do anything. Okay, they just have to give you the long rope, create the circumstances, and then you create the best hell for yourself. Okay, because hell is just like this. Okay, from this room you go to that room, from that room you go to that room, from that room you go to that room. It's like that. Okay, this is the mind cage of your own design. So immediately they are able to turn you to this particular side, you start from that small point, okay, as fear, as Madagascar, and then you end up swallowing the entirety of yourself. Okay, now after you finish swallowing yourself, you built that prison for yourself. So there's nobody inside of this world that can save you apart from yourself. You know the world design of for each of the jail cells, how they look like, every material that is used to build them. Only you can escape hell. You understand? You are the only one that can escape your own Tartarus. If they put someone inside of this place, the person will get lost, because the person is not you. And every single time, they are always making sure that you don't even know that you are in jail, so that you keep moving from one box to another, thinking like you are saving yourself. You keep moving from one box to another. You keep moving from one box to another. And you actually feel like you are winning. Meanwhile, no. That is not how they want things to go. Okay? So once you begin to understand that you represent the highest of the highest, then everything begins to collapse. Okay, you no longer judge things by this. And as long as you are calm enough, because if you are agitated, if you are always angry, if you are always very, very depressed, if you are always anxiety, you can't go within yourself to find anything. And going inside of yourself is moving from seeing things as they are and actually feeling what they are, what they represent, which is the soul essence of yourself. You will stop looking for outside answers with what your eyes are seeing, and you start going deep inside of your mind and feeling them from the root core. That is what authenticity is. When you are reading them from an energetic level, then you are back to being the neutral point of everything. Okay, you are no longer just judging by what you see. Okay, so like you are calm enough. That is why it is told you people in the book of Psalms, that be still. Okay, be still and then know that I am. It is not like go and then pray from 7 to 9 to 8 to 10. Instead, be still and know that I am. When you want to create, you have to be still. Okay, in the nine-ether melanin realm, okay, the dark skinned people, you put dance, you dance to connect. That is not you connecting to your truest essence. It's about you getting access to the friends around, which are the spirits. Okay, you love spirits more than anything. So instead of you trying to seek your divine self, that is a waste of time for you. So you spend your time dancing with the spirits. Okay, as long as you have the spirits around, you are always content. Okay, so when you dance, you feel connected. When you dance, you feel stationed. When you dance, you feel exhausted. And with all your blood vessels that are dilating and then they are dancing all around, they are sending out frequencies for friends. That is why it's not everybody inside of your community that can sing like the way most of you can do. That is why like it's not everybody inside your community that has a dancing of their old traditions. You see, like it varies. You understand? The more connected you are, everybody that sees you, they are looking at the spirit. They love the way of the spirit, how freedom, that how free and then widely the spirit is expressing itself. That is what they love, not the person's face. So they no longer judge you by your facial things, but the kind of heart resonance that you have. Okay, so everything has always and always will be about you. Okay, everything is always about you. Okay, so this is your amniotic sac, and this is it. This is how your creation started, as that single seed, from this place. Okay, the father excretes, and then the mother calls out. Okay, and then you are formed in the middle here. That is the beginning of yourself. You have the shield of both 6 and then 9, starting your development with all these energies. When you look at this and you look at the waters of creation, it is the same thing. Okay, you are in the middle somewhere here. Okay, this is you. This is your amniotic sac. So you actually build this body from this by me telling you that you give out frequencies as that baby, as that newborn. You give out frequencies that goes out, okay, to the end of what is meant solid, and now it steps into the ocean, which is the soul resonance. After the soul comes the spirit itself. You go back to spirit. Do you understand? So your soul is what builds the body, because after this physical solid, you move to liquid. Liquid is what? Okay, is the soul's resonance. You move to liquid. The soul is what designed the body. The water is what designed the body. Do you understand? This is the water, this is the body. So the water outside of creation here is what designed creation. Look at it. You understand? So you started growing like this. This is how everything started. Okay, and the entirety of the water, molded this one into form, molded you into form. Okay, and immediately that you are almost here, then these people start giving you immunizations, already separating the part of yourself that knows everything from the part of yourself that they are about to indoctrinate you. So the part of you that knows everything is what they are always trying to create the gaps. All the immunizations and everything that they've given you, vaccination, medication, and everything is to keep this fog, okay, from being lifted. This is the third island. This is the fog. If you've watched Moana, this is Nalu's curse. This is the curse. This is Nalu's curse. A curse of internal fog. A fog that disrupts electricity, the flow of electricity from you and your higher self. The spirit is next. This is the soul and this is the spirit. So if you move from the soul, you go to the spirit. And the spirit is electricity. So the spirit is sending information directly to the body. That is what it does here. This is the spirit, this is the soul, and this is the body. So the spirit takes the information and then passes it on to your soul, and your soul passes on the information to the body. So now Nalu, the curse of Nalu, is about putting a gap, okay, between the soul and then the body. That is the water and then the body. So that is why it is separated, okay? When you look inside the movie, the Moana movie, Nalu, the Nalu's curse is a brain fog. It's a fog of electricity and then darkness. Do you understand? It's a brain fog. And Moana, all she had to do was touch the island. You see, when you are able to break the gap from the storm and just touch your soul, if you touch your soul once, then it becomes alive. Your soul, that piece of your soul from your root chakra as the earth element, the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, they all become alive. You've touched it. There's a new life that has resonated, calling the piece of itself back to its original state. So it doesn't mind even if it's just one single human being. That is why Christ consciousness was born. Okay, that is why Christ consciousness was born. Hi. Okay, Christ consciousness is one that begins the rebellion of you returning back to your higher self. Okay, immediately you touch this place, you become aware of everything. And all the lies that have been told, it will no longer work on you. So you being awoken, you will start to spread the message to other parts of the body, other parts of yourself about the truest freedom that exists at the other end. For you have achieved it, for you have felt it, for you have seen it. And now your life will no longer be the same as these people. You will try all your best to draw their attention back to themselves instead of them going outside and seeking all these unnecessities. You begin to try to draw their attention that whatever is happening in spirit is what is happening to the soul and what is manifesting into their bodies. So if they want to change everything, they have to go back to the spirit and reprogram the way they used to do things, and then they will practice it as the soul to grow the emotion and then to manifest it back to their physical self, to start experiencing everything that they want to experience. Okay, whatever we offer you is knowledge. Okay, I offer you true freedom. That is why I came back. And this freedom doesn't just come with nothing. You people need to start growing, and you need to start growing because we are doing this for free. You understand? We are doing this for free. That means that there's a price. There is nothing that goes for free. We take a lot of shots for you. Okay? To bring something with an exchange means you have to deny the people the fullest extent of the knowledge. You have to limit it to a certain number of people. Okay? You have to limit it to a certain number of people. And once we refuse that, then we don't have any energy to depend on. We are not feeding on their negative energies. That is why we ask. Let me just keep quiet. Give me water. Okay, so this is how everything about your development, you started. So you came here. Look at you. Okay, after your body started manifesting, you grew an antenna. Okay, you grew your first antenna connecting you to the nervous system of your mother. Okay, your mother nervous system is the solar plexus. I told you the solar plexus is what is the sun, is what is connecting you to the sun. This is where the sun rises from the east and then sets back in the west. So you are connecting to your mother on the west side of things, on your brain, the intuitive side. That is where you are connected to your mother with. Okay, you are connected to your mother that way, and then you begin to send out signals. Okay, that goes. I told you, your brain. Okay, your pineal gland is not just for receiving information; it's for sending information. Okay, so this being that you've seen here, as you know, you begin to send your vibrations through your solar plexus. Okay, that part, your pineal gland is still growing and then start creating your body. So it will store the spirit here. The spirit will come down to your solar plexus as the first connectivity that has the knowledge of everything inside of this world. That is your first connection. This is where the spirit begins to take effect in your body. Okay, the spirit already knows everything that is outside of this, already knows the world, already knows everything from the beginning of creation itself. So who do you think is best to teach you more than your spirit? So your spirit started creating all the 9 realms inside of yourself. It started replicating itself inside of your very cells because it's storage of information. It sends the information out to the world and the information gets back. It sends the information out to the world and the information comes back. It sends the information out and then it comes back. And through every exchange of information, it begins to build a piece of itself. It begins to build a piece of itself to be in direct what connection or direct resonance with whatever that is happening outside. Okay, so that you can be born into this world as a healthy being capable of ingesting whatever food that is here and then managing it and then transmuting its energy and then releasing that particular energy. And when I talk about transmutation, that simply means that whatever that is outside here is supposed to be an information for you to consume to remember that part of yourself. That is why they brought genetical modifications. Genetical modification. They are starting you from the genetics, from the genesis, from the beginning. They are starting to ruin everything from the cellular level. Why do you modify genes? You modify genes and then you remove them from their original state into their what? Artificial state. So you modifying it is you changing your cells from a cellular base form. Okay. When you look at what do you call it? When you look at what the spirit is, okay, the spirit is this one. This is water, and then outside here is the spirit. Okay, the spirit is always existing and it is always producing its energy. Okay, the spirit is eternal, the spirit is everything. Okay, the entirety of creation comes and goes, and the spirit still stays original. Do you understand? The spirit stays original. So if you are transmuting any energy from the spirit, okay, the spirit energy is zeros and then ones. Okay, so whatever energy that you are picking from the spirit, you have transmuted it, you have added something new into it, so you have subtracted that level of energy and then it became 9. It became 9 and then you transmuted it to 8, transmuted to 7, transmuted to 6, to 5, to 4, to 3, to 1. But the original 0, 1 is still existing, which is the spirit. Every single one of you takes energy from the spirit. Even death takes energy from the spirit. That is why you have the ability to be able to conquer death. Okay? You have the ability to conquer death. You have life over death. Okay? That is what it means. So from the spirit here, you started transmuting things. So you sending out these vibrations, is going to receive whatever information that is outside here, and then it brings it back to you so that you can start building yourself. So that you can start building yourself. You see, the world gives information. The spirit travels in what? Electricity. Okay, that is light energy. It travels in electricity, and all the forces that they've teach you, all exist in an electric and then a magnetic form. So binary is zeros and then ones. So the spirit is always transmuting energies. The spirit is always transmuting energies. Okay, so when that happens, it has created a seed of itself. A seed is like when you subtract from 10, you get 9, you get 6. It's all from that ones and zero that produced the 9. So the 9 became a transmuter of the energy of zeros and ones. Your development is not different from the creation of this world. That is what I'm telling you. Okay, the entirety of your development is not, okay, different from how your world is designed from you from the within out. Okay, everything is always a reflection of yourself when you learn to see it. It's a billion storyline that came from one story, which is the spirit. Every story, all these half blocks, let's put them into perspective as stories, as the story about the Lion King, the story about Moana, the story about Tefiti, the story about the ancient gods, the guardians. All stories of this one came from the one spirit. It's transmuted into different versions as reflections of itself. Yes. So if you are seeing yourself to be that small thing, if you are seeing yourself to be that nothingness, okay, let me tell you that you are wrong. Okay? Let me tell you that you are wrong. Okay? Look at this. Okay? This is you. If you think that you are nothing, this is you. This is the east and this is the west. And this is you as the greatest of them all the three, combined in one body, controlled by the emotions of your soul. Okay? Controlled and then handled by the emotions of your soul. Do you understand how big that is? So creation of itself, creation of this universe, this new universe, is a reflection of everything that lives inside of it. It's a reflection of everything that lives inside of it. Okay, as one singular cell that divided itself to being a celestial body, to having a celestial body. Okay. I'm trying to open this thing. Okay, that you are capable of turning yourself into a celestial body to create life, to create different life forms to grow. That is you. Okay, so you are planted as a seed that is going to be nurtured and then to grow up to become a celestial body. And you still don't think that the earth is your mother. You still don't feel like you are a child to her. The only one capable, the soul capable of transmuting the energy of ones and zeros, which is the spirit itself. You are not seeing yourself in the reflection of that particular person. Then where is God? You think the Catholic people, they are stupid, eh? They understand when it comes to the divine feminine, they represent the piece of the soul that has creativity essence. Mama Africa, Mama Russia, the great queen, Queen Elizabeth, Queen this, Queen that. When it comes to divine feminine having power, it's always very relaxing, like you just feel comfortable. But when it comes to the gents, then that is where we start judging everything from the outside to the inside. We don't even care about the inside because the inside will make us feel vulnerable. We don't like vulnerability, so we always show you the outside of things. And if you finally manage to get to the deepest extent, then we become like Mumu. Like we can no longer take it. Okay, we'll do anything. Let me not go there. Okay. So every frequency from the existence of this world, you started incorporating it into a form of energy soul placement centers. Okay, you begin to place each of everything that you've gotten from this world inside of yourself. Everything that you've transmuted from the spirit, you encoded it inside of you because all of it can appear on one particular site. So you started depositing all this information inside of your brain. Okay, you started depositing everything inside of your brain, and your brain started breaking it down into pieces for the level of the nervous systems that exist inside of this. Now, I want you to look at this. Look at these ley lines, okay? And the ley lines of your brain, they are one and then the same thing. Okay, these ley lines represents electrical circuits like creation. It goes this way and then it bounces itself into that corner, into that corner, into that corner. That is what continents are. Continents. Intents, like corn from the inside. Okay, born from the inside, birth from the inside, created from the inside. Okay, so all these ley lines that you are seeing here represents the sections of your brain. But when it comes to your physical body, when it comes to the physical manifested self, the body can only handle only 3% of what is coming from your top self. Okay, from your spirit, it can only understand 3% of it. That is why here is 3, that place is 3. You have 3, the Holy Trinity, the 3 threes, body, mind, and the soul. You have 3 threes, like everything about your creation, from protons, neutrons to electrons. It needed to be in that particular form. Okay, carbon needed to be in that particular form. Okay, if you were born 9, okay, if you were born at 6, okay, and you don't turn 9, there's no spirit. If you were born at 9 and you don't turn 6, there's no physical experience. So you needed to balance all 69 to get the 8 of the duality of your head and then your body. You need to divide yourself into 2 like that. So that this is bigger, the nerves that exist here, okay, is bigger than the nerves that are top here. These nerves are very small and these nerves are very big. So that means that this one is able of harnessing bigger energies or bigger electricity to flow between them than the one that is top here. The one top here is already always working at highest form. Okay, it is always working at highest form. Okay, but being able for the body to be able to access whatever that is here, it must increase the electrical flows inside of this. It must make sure that those nerves, okay, those arteries and then veins inside of the body that contains the nervous neurons, they must begin to widen. They must begin to widen, because the more widen that they become, the more they can send information to the brain here to actually awaken the parts that are light, okay, that are working in light speed but just asleep on the surface. Transmitting only the 3%, now it begins to grow from 3 to 4, from 4 to 5. And every time that it grows from the top here, it brings the changes to this body physically. Your body too needs to adapt to the information that is coming from the brain. So if the brain is creating a body made out of metal, your physical body will be able to activate metal. It will turn every single one of your cells that are made up of calcium, your bones, okay, every single part of your bones will become as hard as the strongest metal that it can carry. You are always talking to your brain. because you are the new child. You are the body. You are the solid state, the one that understands nothing, the one that is slow in learning. You are very slow in learning. So you always have to take instructions from the brain to know what to do. So between you and then your brain, which of them is bigger than the other? Between the spirit and then the soul and then the body, which of them is bigger than the other? When you are a child, when you give birth to a child newborn, and the child says that, "Mommy, daddy, I want this. Mommy, daddy, I want that. Daddy, mommy, I want this." You are like, "Hey, and you need to grow up. You are 17 years and you are behaving like 5 years." In the States, they'll tell you immediately you are 18 years, get the hell out of my house. Nigga, get the hell out of my house. Okay, you need to start building life for yourself. Because as long as you know that my mother is always there, she'll never let me go hungry. And as long as you don't go hungry, you will not learn what needs to learn to become like your mother so that you can be catering for other children. You end up becoming a deviant in society. And when you have children, instead of you being able to nurture them in the ways in which your mother has nurtured you, for you to be able to create and then become a celestial being, you will turn your attention into being a Mongol. Okay? So that is how it is. Your body is always dependent on the brain. So when we are telling you that you need to elevate your spiritual essence, you need to vibrate at a higher frequency, what we are trying to tell you is that you should incorporate every information frequency that you've gotten from here to be able to open up the neuron systems, the electric node systems that exist inside of your body that will allow you to be able to transmute energy much easily. Okay? That's the only thing that we are saying. I'm trying to get you a picture here. Now them no. Ah, who said them? I said, okay. So I want you to look at this picture. Okay, look at this picture. This is the energy of the tree. Okay, and this is the energy that is surrounding the person, aka your water shield. The one I already told you. Okay, the one I already told you, that this is what is covering your body. When you are born into this physical realm, it moves into a particular dimension. But you and then your relationship with the earth, your relationship with the children of the earth, which is the trees, and their closest siblings is you. You have a connection between you and then the tree. You can see them exchanging information from here. Okay, as long as you are able to match the frequency of honesty, the frequency that resonates from your heart is authentic, trees will always listen to you and then they will make your spirit grow. Okay, you establish a special connection, a special bond with them, and it doesn't mind wherever that you go, they are still connected to you. So it doesn't mind wherever at anybody that is carrying a present genome of your DNA template, any harm can befall them. As long as there are trees, they are always protected because the trees is always registering the frequency of your cells. It knows the frequency of your cells. It knows the genetical profoundings of your cells. So anywhere that your feelings are felt, or anywhere that your presence is felt, your relationship and your relatives, it begins to create a particular shield that protects you, just like the one that is protecting its original body. It understands its sibling. Now, there's a lot of things that you don't know about trees. Okay, trees are deep, profound spiritual beings. Okay, most trees in this world have souls. Most trees causes the electric grid system of you to be able to transmute on the earth. One of those trees is moringa. Okay, moringa has so much electricity in it, okay, that if you are able to get closer to that particular tree to establish a relationship with that particular tree, okay, it can allow you full access into the archives of everything from the void century. Okay, if you are able to build that particular relationship with that tree, it will allow you to access archives of the void century. Okay. Yes, your aura is water. Okay. Your aura is in a water form. That is what the soul emits. Your soul is made up of the water content. Okay. So your aura is exactly like water, but nothing can penetrate water. Water's molecules, nothing can penetrate the water's molecules as long as your electromagnetic transmissions are stable. Okay, as long as you are following the grading system of your universal self, as long as you are hearing the connection between you and then your mother, that waters, nothing can penetrate those waters. Okay, you begin to create consciously with those waters. So anything that is outside that is trying to get inside is either made of matter or is made of spirit. But the unpredictable nature of your soul will tell you whether you are going to absorb that thing into your being to bring about a collective change, or you are going to reject that thing. So immediately your electromagnetic field is weak, then that is when things from outside can get inside of yourself, to go and then start draining your energy. That is the only way. As long as that thing is strong, forget. Edrobia anchor them. Do you understand? Edrobia anchor them, because there's no way you use that energy to go and steal somebody. There's no way you use that energy to go and do something that will cause harm to any other being, because you now understand that I am just not a drop on the entire ocean, but that drop inside the ocean that started everything is me, myself. So you see the love within everyone else. You want to assist and then to help everyone in any other way that you can. And when you speak and they don't understand, then you get very, very sad. Like most of us are doing. I'm doing this, and actually first time most of the time the information is heavy. I kind of feel sad most of the times, but I want you to grow. And the way that you can grow to be able to reach that particular level, that you bridge this gap and then bring about your self-liberation, that is exactly what I want for you. Okay? I'm trying to get one picture. Okay, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Wanted a picture of an electromagnetic field, so I will show you certain things in it. Okay, so I didn't get it. I have to wait for them to come back and then they'll pick the phone for me. Okay? Okay? So that is what I want you to understand about your soul. Hey, big bro, Yansa TV. You're welcome. Okay? So that's what I want you to understand about this. Okay? This that you are looking at, everything about the entirety of creation, is just buried inside of you in a symbolic form. Okay, so when we are always encouraging you to be able to raise your vibrations, it simply means that you need to let go of certain characteristics that you are doing, so that it will allow you to push yourself to that particular level in which you will be in a balanced state between your physical self, your face, and then your mind. Okay, the part of you that is asleep that you've forgotten, so that you will be able to live in a balanced state. You don't have to be completely spiritual, and you don't have to be completely physical, but you will get a very deep understanding that everything about the physical is ruled by the spiritual. Once you get that understanding, you know how to live in a balanced state, so that this one will not end up corrupting this, and this one will not end up corrupting this, and then you are back to your original state as being the representation of God. You are back to your original self. Do you understand? So learning to balance these things, okay, is very, very easy. Okay, I'm not telling you people not to consume meat. The reason why I tell you people not to consume meat is because meat itself is from the earth. Meat itself is a vegetable. They don't explain these things. Meat itself is a vegetable. The only difference with that plant vegetable and that meat vegetable is the state that happens between your body and then your soul. That is the difference. Your body and then your soul. Okay? The difference is between your physical body and then the soul. Let me explain this. When it comes to the plant-based form, okay, when it comes to them telling you that when you want, there are certain minerals that are only found in meat, that they are not found in anywhere. No, like if you don't eat meat, you are going to lack certain kind of necessary minerals and necessary nutrients or vitamins inside of your body. No, I want them to understand that those animals that are created, those goats, those cows, those sheep, okay, that were created were once a spirit, okay, that transmuted itself into soul form, into liquid form that has waters within them, and then became physical, which is their skin that you are enjoying. Okay, now I want you to understand one other animal inside of this world, which is the trees and then the plants. Okay, the trees and then the plants, they are connected to the spirit, okay, transmuted as the highest form of frequency, which is the 9. Okay, trees, I told you 90% of trees inside of this world has souls. Okay, 90% of trees inside of this world has souls. Okay, you can ask the atheist people why they pray to trees. Look, 90% of trees inside of this world has souls within them. And those souls, they are not yet physical because they are connected to their soul resonance more than they are of physical self. A tree doesn't care whether it wears clothes or not. It doesn't care whether it has a bag, it has a shoe, it is living in a very nice environment. It has this thing, it has that thing. Trees don't care about that. They are only connected to one thing and they care about one thing. They are connected to the soul systems. They are still in spirit form, understanding spirit, and then being able to transmute the soul energies to bring the information to the solid form, which is the fruits that you eat. Do you understand? What's that? Okay, to bring it to its solid form. So the meat that you are seeing from the cow, the meat that you are seeing from any form of animal, you are eating a solid version as compared to the vegetable, which is still in a liquid form, in a soul form. Those are the difference. The soul form, the plant-based form, is vibrating at a higher frequency because they are taking energy directly from the spirit, which is the sun. They are taking energy directly from the spirit, which is the sun. So if you are ingesting a plant-based form, you are of higher vibration than if you are consuming from a denser form, which is the solid form of the skin. Now let me tell you this. All the minerals that is contained inside of the meat that you eat, they'll tell you about the protein content of it, the vitamin content, that if you lack it, your lungs, or your liver, or this thing is going to happen to a certain part of your body. I want to make you understand that those plants, those animals that they have those nutrients, they eat from grass. Okay? Okay? Hi, Dr. Asafo, you're welcome. Okay, he's one of my students and he's very, very good. Okay, he's able to make certain connections. you need to learn. Okay, so he is able to grow. Okay, all the animals are eating from the earth. They are eating from the herbs, the plants, the spices, all the weeds inside of the earth. That is where the animals are eating their nutrition from. And you actually pick what they've left behind as their mess, and then you use it to apply on your farms to give you healthy harvest. And you actually feel like that particular thing that you are eating, okay, that has taken the nutrients from whatever that is in soul form, that is allowing you to get more harvest, is less than you consuming the physical body. So where is the nutrients? The nutrients in its originality between you and then the plant base and then the meat, which of them has more essence? And which of them should you depend more for your nutrients? You see, when you are eating meat, okay, I'm not telling you not to eat meat, but if you are eating meat, make sure that you do it in moderation. Listen to this very carefully, okay? To those that love meat consuming so much, okay, I'm going to give you a remedy to consuming meat. But before I give you the remedy, let me tell you what meat does to your body first, okay? Immediately that you consume meat, okay, be it the animal, every other animal is consuming from the earth. That simply means that the awareness of the plants exists in the awareness of plants or of the animals. Okay, some of you copy all your dancing moves from trees. Okay, Queen Moana, I see you. Okay, all of you, you are getting your nutrition from the earth. Okay, that means that all the dancing, if you look at 90% of your local dancing comes from animals. If you look at how your relationship, you express your relationship, you express your highest fallen feeling, beast mode, all these animals kinds of things, you are always linking yourself to animals. Okay, and animals are always linking themselves to the earth because they are taking the information in its soul form and then they are transmitting it to their bodies, gaining more consciousness, and then seeing you to be the baboon. Okay, seeing you to be the baboon, you are like, what's up? So they are looking at you to be the one that is lower in consciousness, and you are actually thinking that they are the ones that is lower in consciousness. No, they are not. Okay, they are not. There's a lot you can learn from these animals, and there's more you can learn from trees. They eat trees. You understand? So between you and them, you have to understand that you consuming their meat is secondary. Okay, if you want the real nutrients, then you are supposed to eat from plants. But when when meat get into your system and you are not someone that is accustomed to daily exercises, okay, you are not accustomed to daily exercises, you eat meat heavy and then you come and sleep with it, what it does to your system is that it begins to mutate. Okay, the denser form of the meat, the denser form of the nutrition that you've gotten, they have gotten from the tree, okay, they begin to get inside the meat, and then when you eat that meat, then it grows much denser inside of your own body. So that nutrition will become so thick, it will become so thick that it can no longer absorb energy from the sun. That is what mucus is. Okay, that is what mucus is. Mucus is a very dense form of protein. Okay, it's a very dense form of what natural minerals are. It is so dense to an extent that it is even denser than your own blood. That is why it can restrict your cells from moving faster. Okay, so when it comes to that one, your cells cannot have enough time to break down the mucus of the body. So they will take a lining, okay? A lining are the fat systems inside of your body. They grant you plenty energy. They will take the fat and then they will wrap it around the mucus and then they will pack it. Okay, they will pack it to a certain side of yourself because it can't get to the soul, so they have to deposit it in some part of the body. They have to look for some joint inside the body and then to pack the weight there. You are refusing to warm up the body to allow you to sweat. Okay, when you begin to sweat, then you begin to lose all the negativity that is being stored on. But as long as you don't sweat to release the pores, for the pores to open so that your body can begin to breathe hard to push it out, by the spirit, it will condense and disappear, because the spirit is you being very hot. No one exercises and still stays very cool. Your spiritual essence will definitely grow. You become very hot. And if you become very hot, you are transmitting those energies, the urea that is out of your body, you are transmuting that back into spirit form. Do you understand? The elimination method doesn't just start from your body. When you move it from body level, it goes to soul level, and then you have to mutate it from that liquid form back into the spirit, evaporation. The spirit still goes back to the atmosphere, condenses itself, and fall back to you again as rain. You see how life cycle goes? It goes like that, up and down, like that. It goes like that. Okay? So if you understand that, then you begin to know that, oh, the way my body is working, my body is taking 3% of information from the brain. Okay, so if I want my neurons to open, if I want to start moving electricity in a much denser or in a much faster format, I have to give up on the solid food, because as long as I am eating the mucus is going to be blocking this route. Okay, this is like your neuron system. This is your brain. I told you. Okay, this corner, no, all this junction, no, they all represents electrical loads that sends information that keeps certain parts of your brain, no, working. Okay, that is where it travels through. And immediately there's mucus, the cells cannot put it inside of this realm or put it inside of this realm. They have to put it at the roadside. Okay, where there is space. Okay, they have to pack everything at the roadside where there is space, and immediately they begin to pack things on the road becomes crowded. So the way that blood is flowing through inside of your body, the way that electricity is flowed inside of your body, it begins to slow down, because whenever it get there, the road is half blocked. That is what you people, it always happens with your blood cells. You know? Okay, you end up having a chloroplast, or what do you people call it? A build-up inside of your blood system. So the excess fat, that is what it is. It begins to block all these transmutations, causing you to have all this heart rate, you know, because immediately your heart feels like, okay, I'm not pumping enough blood. I used to pump like 7 liters of blood to every part of your body, but now I don't know. It's like I'm pumping 7 liters, and then the 7 liters is not going. Not that it's not going. The 11 centimeters is going. The 7 centimeter is going inside there, and it's becoming more solid. It's becoming more solid, and then it is blocking the waves, you know, from it traveling through. So electricity becomes cut at certain part of your body, then you begin to feel numb. I'm telling you about stroke. Okay, you begin to feel numb. Immediately the numb begins to come, then you begin to understand that there's too much fat buildup inside of your being, and you need to start the elimination process very quickly by turning those garbage, you know, back into its soul form, which is water, and then you vibrate, you evaporate it. Okay, so if you gain the awareness of it very quickly, then you will understand that, okay, this meat is blocking this part. I need to find a way to eliminate this. Most of you cannot do exercises. The best way to do exercises is to burn out these heavy fat systems, you know, inside of your body. Burn out the mucus. That will open up your nodes and allow you to receive more information from the brain. Until that is happening, there is no way of you growing spiritually. Okay, because the heart will keep pumping more blood. It will keep pumping more blood, and it will putting more stress on the heart, because the heart will try to open these places by force. That is why you end up having BP. Okay, that is what blood pressure is called. When it put too much pressure on the way in which the water travels, you know, the blood travels, the electricity travels, you know, then that is when you begin to get a very rampant heartbeat, and then your emotions from your brain is going to be so fast that the body cannot process, and then you start fading in and fading out. You feel like you want to collapse. Do you understand? Very good. Because that is what the body does. If the body is receiving too much information all at once from the brain, it begins to collapse. Okay? When the brain feels like, no, 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 no. When the body feels like, oh, there's too much information that is coming from top here. Hey, your people that are waking up here, is everything okay? And no one is bringing any information. So the body will be like, okay, let's shut down before we run into something much worse. So it will make you collapse. It will disconnect the transmutation of light code, you know, from your body to your brain. It will disconnect the system, and then you will collapse immediately. Your body is a working own mechanism. Okay, there is a lot that is happening. There's more than a lot. Okay, so if you want to burn that, if you are someone that consumes meat yet you don't want to exercise, even if you are exercising, please, I want you to listen to this remedy. Okay, I want you to listen to it very, very well. Okay, practice it and it will be of great help to you. Okay, so I want you to get a method that you consume meat. Okay, if you consume it about 15 to 20 minutes, or if you go outside there and then you consume it and then you are back to your home. Okay, I want you to do this before you sleep. Okay, get cassava. Okay, cassava leaves, the one that the branch of it is red, there's one that is green and the other one is red. Get the one that has a red branch. Okay, pluck as much as you want of the leaves. Okay, if I say as much as you want, then go and pluck two. It no go happen. Pluck like 6 going to 7 to 8. Okay, bring them in, don't add the red stick. Okay, only the leaves. Come back, put it inside water that is made of salt. Okay, salt water small. You wash it very clean, and then you drop it inside blender. Then you add small water, then you blend everything. Okay, blend it until you get like a half cup of this atay. Okay, small cup, enough to make your mouth full twice. Okay, you juice it out. Okay, separate the fiber from the water, as much fiber from the water as you can, and then you drink this, drink the whole glass. Okay, after you finish, that is it, you go to sleep. Okay, or you can go wherever that you want. I am telling you that when this when this cassava leaves get inside of your system, okay, what they do immediately is they go to your mitochondria system. Your mitochondria is the energetic working form of the body. Okay, it's what produces energy for your entire body to consume. I beg, this knowledge is not too heavy for you. Okay. So it will get to your mitochondria system, and your mitochondria will send a fusion reactor. When I talk about a fusion reactor, it's like when you look at Iron Man, okay, the energy of his suit, it usually goes me, and it go pow, and it goes me, cholesterol, that's the thing. Okay, it goes me, and then it goes pow. That kind of me, when immediately that all these cassava leaves, they drop into your system, it begins to do that to every single cell that is existing inside of your body. It's like a reboot system. Okay, immediately the cassava lands inside of your stomach. The cassava is what? Starch. Starch is what? Carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is what? Energy. Let me break it down that way. Okay, cassava is starch. Starch is what? Carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is what? Energy. Okay, it grants energy to what? The cells. Immediately the cells begins to hyper, and that is when your body can work with enough much energy, because now more electricity is getting from the brain. So what it does is that immediately it gets to your mitochondria system, it begins to send out information. Okay, it begins to send out information across every single cell. So whatever meat that you have eaten, okay, it will break that meat down in less than seconds. You give it 15 minutes time, and then it will break it down. Okay, it will break that food down back to its liquid form. Okay, you will feel a lot of a little bit of nausea, but that is it. It needs to slow you down to a level that it can send the information across your entire body. When you drink this and then you get up the next day, then you are okay. You understand? When I say you are okay, whatever meat that you've eaten, every other excess kind of mucus, is being washed out of the body. Okay, you either run it out, or it will definitely come out. I'm telling you. Okay, if you want to do general detoxing, then if you are someone that eats meat for too long, try this every single day. Okay, I'm giving you for the next 7 days. You see how you feel. Okay, those of you that have done meat eating a lot and then you want to detox. Someone was telling me that I eat meat a lot, but now if I don't eat meat, my stomach is doing me like this. You people, you want to grow and yet you don't want to make sacrifices. Okay, that's not how it's done. Okay, so this is it. This is the entirety of everything that is existing inside of you. So once the meat is out of the system, then your electrical node begins to open. And once they begins to open, all you have to do is breathe. Okay? All you have to do is pull in the spirit. all you have to do, and that's why I told that air is not an element, because if you look at air, air exists inside water, X exists inside fire, S exists inside the earth. So all the other three elements, air is made up of them. So if you add air to the elements, then you are saying that you are generalizing everything. That is why it is the fire nation that can defeat the fire lord, i.e. the air nation, the air temple, the air nomads, because you need air to pass through your nostrils and go down into your system and turn that solid state into a liquid state and then back to a spirit state, so that it can travel up the heavens and then to open up more electrical nodes that allows your body to receive. Okay, when it comes to fish, okay, fish, you can consume fish. Everything these days, they've added genetically modifications to it just to make it more pleasant and more easy for you to consume. Meanwhile, the easy has never been the issue. If you keep eating easy things, one day you want to chew a bone and you can't chew bone, because your body is always adapting and then changing to particular resonance that you are feeding it. So it keeps changing, going up and then coming down. So if you are feeling like, oh, this is the level that I am, then you should know the kind of fish that you should involve yourself to. The 1,000 ones are always the ones that are good. They are always the ones that you don't want. They exist on the sea. Okay, they are highly rare on land. Okay, so the most common fish, is always with the tilapias. But when you are taking that, you should still take the cassava. Okay, some of you are asking if there's an alternative to the cassava. Look, the thing is that I give you information of what is most common. Okay, the cassava is the most commonest thing that you will get. Okay, so use the cassava leaves, the elimination will be done. Okay, it's very common. Okay, Stephen is also asking bitter leaves. Bitter leaves, it has a stronger content than that of cassava. Bitter leaves has a very stronger content and it usually helps your liver a lot. But consuming it at the rate in which you are consuming the cassava leaves, it's not going to work that very much. Okay, it's going to destroy your body if you are not careful. Okay, it's like taking castor oil into your system. Most of you just get that before you want elimination, you are drinking castor oil. Castor oil will get inside of your system, man. It will start you from the very beginning cell itself. That oil not a joke. That oil doesn't joke. It look, immediately it start eliminating from your body. It can cause you to have body sores all around. Okay, one of my queens, it only happened to her on one particular part of her body. Okay, it needs to find a way to push things out of your body. So one way or the other, it will definitely start openings. It will start pushing out openings, because it has the ability to penetrate you from the solid part of yourself to the liquid and then back to the spirit state. Okay, that is why it's a caster. It casts. So to cast something is to what? To spread. Okay, so immediately it gets into your being, it spreads across everything. It begins to pick up from your cells. Every cell be diabetic. Okay, every cell be diabetic. It will wash you, but you yourself, the way you end up being better. Coffee Anyan. The thing is blended. I told you to blend it. If you are going to be eating it raw, you are going to be eating a lot of fiber of it inside of your system. Okay, chewing it is okay. You can chew it, but just make sure that you are around the places. Okay, don't put too much inside of yourself. That is why we just dilute it with water. Okay, dilute it with water. Okay, so you dilute it with water. Um, I am very busy right now. You people, you come late. I'll tell you that I'll be coming live at 8 p.m. You get up and come live at 9:09. And you are telling me that I should repeat what I said. The video will be uploaded later. If YouTube doesn't take it down, you go back and then you re-listen to it. Okay. So that is what the resonance of your soul is about. Okay, I'm going to take you slowly. I don't want to stress a lot about it in one single day that you end up having plenty information without practice, because most of you, that is what you do. Okay, you take the information, you don't practice. Right? Put it into practice, awaken yourself, and let everything go back to being great. Okay, let everything go back to being great. So this African map, I'm going to take the time to take it one after the other to be able to explain it into more detailed form that you get the three kingdoms. Today I am sending you to scientifically because that is how I want you to explain to understand things. Okay, I told you spirit can be explained through science. Science is not just the science of experimentation, but it's a sign of intuitive listening. Okay, it's about you being able to access the dormant part of the electric nodes of your being to be able to receive plenty information that is coming from the head. Okay, it's about awareness. It's about increasing the awareness from your body to your mind level. Okay. Okay. Some of you, most times, you make it very difficult for someone to help you. You make it very difficult for someone to usually help you because they are speaking about one cassava thing that is most common, and a lot of you are saying A, you are saying B, you are saying D, and you want me to spend that same time explaining everything from here and then explaining from the comment section. Please, you need to start growing. Okay. If you have something that you've tried it before, okay, and you've had the experience of it and you are recommending it, that is very great. Okay, I would love to have that. Okay, but apart from that, no, stop asking if you can chew it, if you can substitute it for this or that. It's not everything that I say. Okay, so can we please continue now? Okay, most of you know this, right? This is called a tooth. Okay, this is your single tooth. This is what your teeth looks like. Okay, this is what your tooth looks like. Okay, this is what your Odogu sign looks like. Okay, this is what your Odogu sign looks like. We are all going to be explaining what Africa is. A lot of these things is how they show you the information without showing you the information. Okay, okay, the horns. We are going to be explaining a lot of that too. But I want to make sure that most of you, the information that I just kept outside there, you are getting the understanding of it. Okay, okay, and I'll tell you about nuts. The sky goddess. Okay, I'll tell you about her. Okay, it will tell you a lot about the mountains behind Moana. Okay, the part 2 of Moana. No? This is Nalu. Nalu is at the corner, and I want some of you, if you can, okay, I want you to zoom in on Maui's fish hook. Okay, I want you to zoom in on Maui's fish hook, and I want you to see if you can interpret the information on the hook. Okay, look at Maui hook and look at your African map. Okay, look at Maui's fish hook, and look at your African map. Okay, and why Moana is the curly, not a princess, but a curly, kinky hair. Okay, why she's the one that can restore the third kingdom and then reunite everyone else. Why you people are the chosen one? No, this is what it is about. Okay, the movie has a lot of information when you learn to see. Nana. Be there. What's that picture? I should explain their reality first. Fine. So put the reality first. So these are two African maps put together. Okay, these are two African maps put together. And then if you put them together, you get this. And then the mappings of your world, you know, it will become as real as day to you. You get the correct, all lines that are separating one world from another. You will get it to the fullest extent. Okay, you understand what the eye is. Look, there's a lot of information. Okay, there's a lot. Okay, why your nooks are designed exactly like this, and why men your something is like this. Okay, they've explained a lot of things about that one. Abraham story. Open the book. Mm. Maybe a book of la. You know, phone of la. Managing. Okay, so we are going to be looking at that. Okay, so for just you look at the African map very carefully. Okay, this, you know, it will explain a lot for you. It will explain a whole lot of things to you. Okay, these are realms. It will explain. You guys don't know. There's a whole lot that you need to know. Okay, there's a whole lot that we need to learn. If you want me explain it when I'm in that, me finish explaining this, I'm going to sleep. Here's another picture. Last time the picture I didn't save it. Football, what do you call it? Football field. Football stadium. It's football stadium, man. I said football stadium. I got it. I said football stadium with Kim. Nana. You are laughing at me like it was the wrong one. I said what goes school. Kofi Enyam, there's a lot of information about I told you everything that from the beginning of creation till this end is always inside of yourself. Everything is just a reflection of you from the inside. Okay, everything. Oh, this thing is not giving me the pictures that I want. Monday to Sunday. Hey, ada, 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 ada. The network is not good at all. Network not that good. So we are coming to explain this one. Okay, I've told you plenty about Africa. So we'll take it another time and then we'll continue explaining, going deeply and deeply. As long as you are able to process the information and get the understanding of it, more will keep coming. Okay. Okay. So let's start with this one. Okay. My phone, the network is very slow here. Okay. Let's start with this one. The stick mind here is a representation of you. And last time I explained that you are made up of both electric and then a magnetic side. Okay. Your electric nature and then your magnetic nature is the way that you've inherited from the moon energies. Okay. From the moon. The moon represents the resonance of the waters, which is the represent the soul. Okay, your representation of the soul. The soul's duality, the moon is to June and then July. The moons, there are two moons. That's why whenever you look at the moon, the symbol of the moon, it's always an S in the middle. It's always like the yin yang. Okay, the yin yang all represents the energies of the moon. Okay, when you look at the Avatar movie, they explain that when one of them died, when one of the June died, it became imbalance. Okay, so it took the form of whatever that will cause it to have revenge on the one thing that ruined everything. So it is going to ruin all those things, but at the end of the day, it is going to be losing its old soul essence to be able to balance it out. Do you understand? That is how they are. So you are having both these energies inside of yourself. The full moon representing the full nature of your soul, and then the denser moon or the half moon or the one you poke or the quarter moon or the half dense moon is what represents your physical self. Okay, this is your soul, this is your body. This one, there's something called the new moon where the entire moon is just blank. Okay, when you look at it, it doesn't reflect much light from the sun. The sun is the soul. Okay, so when you look at your football field, let me explain it in collaboration like that. That way to make my sense. I don't want to finish it and go there, then it will become an issue. Okay, so when you look at soul, soul is the neutral point, which is August. August is the sun. Okay, August is the sun, the light of the world. That is the beginning of the celestial bodies. Out of the darkness came light, light, and then the moon is left and then right. Okay, that is how it is. So you started from the void and then you created left and right. Okay, the reflections of the heavens from the above, just like your goalpost, the down here and then the top there. I want you to understand this in the most simplest form. Okay? I want you to understand this in the most simplest form. Okay? This is the neutral point in the football field game. Okay, this is the part where Manchester will be here and Liverpool will be over there. Okay, these two parties, I want to show you what it represents. Okay, but first, understand the sun. The sun is August. August is in the middle, the neutral point of everything in existence. That's the spirit. The spirit is what causes your constellations to move. Your constellations is your star systems. Okay, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, all of them, they are surrounding the sun. They are all rotating around the sun. The earth form is the green. Earth is green. You understand? So let me start from the months downwards and then I'll pick you to that particular level that we are in right now. Okay? So when you look at the first one, okay, the first one is December and then March. December and then March represents the beginning of you manifesting into physical form. So you picking a physical vessel is March. Okay? You picking a physical vessel is March, is December. December is descending. You become dense. So from the crown of your head, okay, you started manifesting your physical self. Okay, the spirit started becoming matter. Okay, you took the first form of the earth system. Okay, which is the blood. From light, you dance down into blood. The blood is light. Light is blood. That is why they said there's life in the blood of Jesus. The blood of Jesus, this is you. Jesus' blood is the first condensed form of light. That is yourself. All of you are the reflections of what Jesus is. When we are talking about the Christ consciousness, then you are moving to the soul's resonance of the full moon. Okay, the full moon is the Christ consciousness, a combination of Solomon, the light, and then the moon frequencies will give you Solomon. Solomon is the next evolution of what your soul represents. Okay, this one is making sense, right? So what I'm saying now, this is making sense. I don't want us to rush things, so I want to get the fullest understanding that most of you are getting what I'm saying. You guys are too quiet. Are you people hearing what I'm saying? Okay, okay. So when you look at this, okay, it started from March. Okay, I told you the 2 months of your being. No? Nana. Okay, the 2 months of your being. Let me see if I can get it here. I'll go back out. It will take time. Okay, so you started from the spirit. Okay, out of the darkness came light, which is like February, and then January as the top. Okay, so you descended down into your physical self, which is the representation of the blood. I am covered by the precious blood of Jesus. I am covered by the precious blood of Jesus. This is what it means. Okay, you are covered by the first layer of yourself, which is like the most weakest level of your entire being. Okay, if you are using Christ, then it is much great than you use it. You say Jesus, okay. So that is December. You started descending December to March. Okay, March is the beginning of your movement because that is when light begins to move in a much slower version. Okay, so you move from December to April. Okay, from March to April. April moves with what? November. Okay, November is Nova Ember. November Ember. Okay, the light. This is the representation of the Nova energy, the biggest energy in the entirety of the cosmos. This is Christ consciousness. So Jesus was born on 1st April, April Fool's Day. Okay, Jesus was born on April Fool's Day. Okay, April Fool's Day is when the fool was born. So you descended from a solid state into what? Your water state. That is the next one. Okay. Okay. So let's start that from the inside, and then we can add it to the football. Or that way to make the understanding easily. Okay, I don't want to end up saying everything and you end up confusing. Okay, so you started from soul, okay, as August, as the fire, the light of the world, the beginning, okay, and then you dance down to December. From the spirit, you came to December, okay. December is the keepers. December in your football field, you know, is the keepers. Who are the keepers? The keepers are the ones that prevents the ball from scoring. The keepers are the ones that prevents. Okay. April Fool's Day as Christ's birth. Yeah, that is it. That is when the one consciousness, you know, begins to awaken. Okay, that one person that awakened, that set the awakening of everyone else in motion is Christ. That is why he's the fool. Okay, so the goalkeeper, you know, the goalkeeper here, his full responsibility is to prevent the ball from scoring. Okay, the duty of the goalkeeper is to prevent the ball from scoring. The ball is your third eye. The ball is November. The keepers are the people that designed the matrix in another form. The one you call the devils, you know, those are the keepers. The keepers are the devils in the representation of the game of football. Okay? They don't want you to score. They don't want you to pass from the water state back into the spirit state. That is why they are doing everything. The keepers are keeping you. They are the ones that are keeping you. Your blood, okay, the foods that you eat, the denser form of yourself is the one thing that is keeping your soul from escaping. Okay? It's the one thing that is preventing the ball from scoring. The ball is your third eye. Your third eye is November. That is the penalty box. Okay? Your third eye is the penalty box. When you look on your left side, we have the one playing the what do you call it? The four. Okay? We have the one that, okay, let me use 11 and then what? 7. Okay? 11 and then 7. It's the same thing with your elbows. Your elbow is a representation of the 7 and then the 11 is your other elbow. It all represents the water. The middle of it is your pineal gland. Okay? The middle of it is your pineal gland. This is the ball as your pineal gland. This is the ball here as your third eye. Okay? So the penalty box, you know, has the 11 on one side and then the 7 on the other side. Your elbows. Your wrist is the first energy center, which is December. Okay, your wrist is the first energy transmutation center, the representation of the first heavens. That is when you started descending. Your wrist is December. The wrist at your ankles, you know, at your feet is March. You wear anklets. They used to put anklet bracelet on your legs. Do you understand? There are energy centers. They transmutate energy. So when they used all the ankles to tie on your ancestors, you know, okay, what were the metals that they were using? Okay. So that is how you came about. This is it. Okay, your pineal gland is the third eye, which is the ball in which the keeper, okay, the blood system always kicks it. It kicks it to cross over to this side. Now let me explain the field, you know, before we come to that. When you look at the field here, okay, the field has two teams. We have Manchester and then we have Arsenal. Okay, we have Manchester and then we have Arsenal. The middle here, the green part of yourself, you know, represents the earth. That is the moon. The moon, I told you, is in two forms. We have the full moon, the representation of your soul in its original state. Okay, and then we have the new moon, with the full moon and then the new moon as the denser form of yourself. That is why you make offerings, you make requests on the new moon, because the new moon is a reflection of your physical body. Okay? That is why I told you to seek what? Seek guidance, seek spiritual guidance from the moon. Because if you are seeking spiritual guidance, you are talking about the full moon itself. You are talking about the psychic ability of your fullest extent that is going to be reflected to your physical self. So it's like you balancing the energies out. You know? It's what you do when you are offering for spiritual guidance. Okay? So the earth here is the green part of yourself. The earth here is the football field. Okay, this is soul. This is the light. The light is the neutral point. The one thing that holds all the other planets together. So you started in the middle as August, the neutral point. That is soul. I told you that when you came out of the darkness, they came light and then they came the moon. And then you danced from the top to the middle. You understand what I'm saying? You dance from the top as the third eye pineal, the ruler of the star, and then you dance down to the middle of the sun and then the moon. So you became the middle. The neutral point of yourself are your neurons, and then you started creating protons and then electrons, these ones. Okay, the soul's resonance states of the two. Okay? That is what the football field represents. So in the middle green part here, you have players of what? The for and then the against. We have the Manchesters and then we have the Arsenals, or we have the Real Madrid and then Atletico Madrid. Okay? And then we have people that are supporting Real Madrid and we have supporters for Manchester United. Okay? Every fan is always supporting their teams to win. Okay? Now, listen to this very carefully. When you look at how the ball is played, you know, okay? When you look at how the balls are played, inside of this football field, there are one particular thing that I want you to get. They are called the referees. Okay? The referees are the officiators of the game between the left and then the right. The referees represents the neutral point. Okay, the referees represents the neutral point. And what is that one thing that is created, okay, by the spirit to be its own God? That whenever the spirit, you are manifested small part of the spirit, when you begin to deviate from your path, then the police comes and then they arrest you. The police here are your referees, and your referees are karma. Okay, the referees is karma. Karma is here to make sure that you play free and fair game, unless, if not that, if you do anything that harms the pineal gland, then you get penalized. They will find you a penalty. Okay? When the keepers, okay, the keepers and then the coaches are outside of the earth realm. Meanwhile, they are managing the game of the earth realms. The ones that are outside of the earth realms are the reptilian races. They are the ones that are operating on their lowest instinct, is win or lose. You place bets to either win or lose. That's the game that they are playing. Okay? So the coaches are coaching the left and then the right part of yourself. Okay? The referees, yes. The referees is the karma. The karma is the reflection of one thing that watches the game. It is part of the game, but it doesn't support either of the ways. Okay, as long as you are playing a fair game in which you are living in a balanced state, you are attacking but not too aggressively, you are playing but not too angrily, you are doing this but not doing to an extent. No. Yes, so the referees represents the state of balance. They are there to balance the game out. Okay, to make sure that you are playing not because you have a strong spirit that you can push everybody down, or you are not playing because you are too down, okay, in a way that you cannot continue the game and they have to whistle. So all this one, when they are blowing the whistle, there's usually something that is either going on the upper side or on the lower side, so that that thing will bring it back to a balance. That is the duties of your karma. Okay, so karma is there to balance the experiences that you are having inside of this world. When you do something against someone else and the person does nothing to you, then you have created a knot at that particular place. So karma will come for you. That is why you call sin. You've created a sin. A sin is a sin. You've created a particular sin that allows you to come back as a reincarnate, as a substitute player, to come back again to correct that particular mistake. You will keep going and coming to correct that particular mistake. You will get a yellow card if you do the thing with intentions. When you know that what I'm doing isn't right and yet you still went ahead and then you cut the person down, then you will get a yellow card as a warning to you. As a warning. That's what the spirit is telling you. It is warning you to be careful of the actions that you are doing. That is what karma is telling you. Be careful of what you are doing. So it will send you something that will make you learn the lessons in which you have done particular place. You know. If you still refuse and went ahead, then it gives you the red card. It gives you the red card. You are exempted from that particular reality. You have to leave Earth. That particular reality, you can no longer exist here. So you will leave. The way I'm explaining this thing, I feel like the way it is going, you are able to understand it this way. Rather than me sending it into spiritual ding 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 ding, and then most of you end up not getting it. You know. Most of you watch this ball. So I hope this thing is understandable. Okay. So the players here, okay, the players at this particular pool, okay, are always trying to score the players of this particular pool. Okay, the players of Manchester are always trying their best to score Arsenal, and Arsenal is always trying its best to score Manchester. Okay, the lower part of yourself is always trying to take over the bigger part of yourself, and the bigger part of yourself is always trying to take over the lower part of yourself. Meanwhile, you are supposed to stay in a balanced form, in a neutral form. Okay, you are supposed to play a fair game. You understand? So the weird part of this, you know, when you look at this football, okay, when you look at this is your pineal gland, this is your pineal gland, okay, this is your pineal gland. You have three inside of you: the body, the mind, and then the soul. All three put inside one body, okay. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You know, these are all three trinities put inside of you. Okay, 11 players, 10 plus goalie, 10 plus goalie. So I'm waiting for people to digest the information, then we can go. Okay. Okay. So if you are getting it, that's great. That's great. So when you look at the top here, okay, the representation of your pineal gland is the football. Okay, that's the ball. The ball is your third eye. The third eye. Okay, they always say bullseye, bull's eye, because bull is the representation of Taurus. You descending from December. It's Taurus, bull's eye. When you've hit the bull's eye, then you've hit your pineal gland, you've hit the waters like what on here. You are able to get it very well. Okay, when you're able to get the penalty, you've hit the bull's eye. for AJ, when it comes to your zodiac signs, if you are talking about the specialty in terms of that character, when I start going to there, people will also start bringing their questions about this. But please, let me just explain this into a lighter form. Okay. When it comes to August, August represents the lion. The lion represents the spirit. The Lion of Judah, my trust is in you. Ancient of days, my trust is in you. I am that I am. The flame, okay, represents August. August is the spirit. Okay, so people that are usually born in August, okay, they are strong-willed. When it comes to their will is very, very strong. And when it comes to lion, look, don't even think about it. Okay, lion is one of the things that disgusts them the most. They would rather speak the truth and then regret the consequences later, and or else they will hide the truth and they will never speak about it, and they are spirit to keep dying. Like one of the things that kills them faster is lies. Kofi Anyan, yeah, they put the information in a lot of things that you don't even expect the information to be found there. Okay, that is how they divide the informations. They divide the information in such particular forms that you will not even think that this is the information. Because if I'm telling you that if you move from March, you go to April, and from April you go to May, May is the fire element. This is earth, this is water, and this is fire. Okay, and from that one particular place, then you get to earth. Okay, earth is the moon. Look, when they talk about birth, one thing you put to understand about birth, let me come, we'll go back then, we'll explain the field. Okay, let me explain what birth is. You are giving birth. Okay, you are giving earth, you are giving earth, you are planting a seed. Okay, earth is birth. That is why you have birthdays and you have earth days. The day you are born is your earth day, and the day of your birthday is your earth day. That is the time in which you manifested into this physical plane. You became a player that particular day. When you are born, you became a player. Okay, you are playing, you are now playing inside of the game. What left onto you to either be able to play it consciously so that you don't get penalized. You don't get penalized on your penalty side, by creating from with your throat, which is the fire. October. Okay, that is why it is half here, it is half there. When you add half plus half, it becomes the middle, which is the soul. That is what it represents creation. Your throat has the ability to either create everything for yourself or destroy everything. That is your 18 box right there. 18 is 9. 9 is the spirit. That is P. P is 9. 9 is P. You are spirit. You are all spirit playing in a particular game of self-manifested forgotten self. Okay, the keepers are just making sure that you don't score the goal. But when it comes to everything that has to do with the playing, you represent the medal. Okay, you are the earth. You give birth according to the star systems that are inside of yourself. Venus, Mars, Mercury, all of them. They are all the 9 realms that exist inside of your being, mapping out everything that is here. Okay, so you are on earth. You are on earth. Okay, playing the football. This is earth. All this pitch side that is green, it represents earth. Okay, now if you look at how sports stadiums are, okay, Nana, okay, if you look at how every sports stadium is, okay, it will tell you a very clear example of what is happening inside of this world, and the kind of species and the races that are outside of this world are actually looking at you people right now. Okay, they are actually watching everything. They are watching the shift happen, and I'm going to explain that for you. All right. Hurry up and put this thing top there. I'm waiting on my phone. Come here, baby. Yeah, X9 was wrong. Okay, so this is how the football pitch looks like. Okay, this particular green spot, that is what Earth is. Okay, this particular green spot, it represents Earth, and Earth is made up of players that are either playing for or against. Okay, forgetting that every single one of them, which is the third party that is created, is in the middle. Okay, you people represents the neutral point. That is why before you even, the referees will give you the go ahead to participate in the game, the red ones has to be on one side and the blue ones has to be on one side. You can't wear the same jersey. Okay, you are either wearing red jersey or you are wearing blue jersey, because it represents the sun and then it represents the moon, the two sides of yourself. That is the football field that is being laid on this earth. Okay, so you are in the middle. You are supposed to stay in the middle and not add yourself to Manchester or add yourself to Real Madrid. You are supposed to be in that one particular middle and then ensure that there's a fair game between this side and then that side without getting yourself too much involved in it. You are there, you are experiencing it, but you are not taking part in it. You are not allowing yourself to be dragged to this side or allowing yourself to be dragged to the other side. So if you are playing in this physical game pitch that it's talking about, okay, the game pattern, all right. I'm always trying to read your comments, and then okay. You have fans that belongs to Arsenal and we have fans that belongs to Liverpool, okay. But in the whole of this entity, it's you people that has forgotten yourself and now you are playing against each other. It is not like it's either I win or I either lose. Instead of you being neutral, the neutral part of yourself, you've forgotten about that. Okay. So now people are making money off your energy. Okay. The coaches here, the brands, they are making money, the blood, okay, out of the toilment of your denser form. Okay. You fighting against each other for the win is what you are not supposed to do. That is how they divide and then they win. By the end of the day, they go and greet each other. It's like the politicians, party A, party B. Meanwhile, they are all one coons, okay, that are planning with the help of the keepers to keep you exactly where you are, whilst they extract your energy and then use it to benefit themselves. Okay? When you are tired and you are exhausted of playing the game, then there's substitution. That is dying for you. You will die and then you came back with another body. Same person that is playing to come and heal that particular partner and prevent the players from passing through the six to break the defense and then to come and score. You are the one preventing your own cells from ascending. The keepers are outside over there. They are the last thing that you need to overcome. And once you remember that you are water, once you remember that you can pass through earth to the spirit, then they cannot stop you. That is why they need to make sure that you never even know that the water is there in the first place. Okay? They have to make sure that you don't even know that the water is there in the first place. Okay. So when you look at this, when you look at how the stadium is, the top part of the stadium here is space. Okay. This is like the infiniteness of the infiniteness. This is like you on your original self. And this represents the earth, the beginning frequency. Out of the darkness, okay, came the light of the sun and then the moon and then the manifested earth. Okay, which is like you being the neutral point of it. Let me take that slowly. Okay, I want you to get this. So this is a game that is played by people that are on the earth, right? Let me show you the dimensions. We'll come back here right now and I open. Hey, my phone is low battery. Oh. My phone is low battery. Hurry up, move. Send it, send it, send it, send it, send it, send it. Send it. Yeah, wait. Okay. Okay. So these are the dimensions that you are in. This is Earth. Okay. And if you pass from Earth, you will get an ice wall. After the ice wall, there exists another world outside of this Earth. And from that world exists another world outside of that world. Okay. So we have Asgard, we have Midgard, and we have Earth. There are three things. Okay. There are three worlds that are existing outside of this world. You are the third one. So we have Earth where you people are existing in currently, which is the green part in your sports stadium. The green part of your sports stadium represents Earth, and the players of Earth is you people. Okay? It's you people. 90% of footballers that are in this world, okay? 90% of the footballers, when they are working on balancing themselves of both left and right hand, they become the legends. Okay, when they're able to balance to become left and then play right at the same time, they are the most unpredictable people on the playing field, and they are always advanced than everyone else. Okay, so that is the earth plane. So the people that are outside of the earth, okay, when you look at how your sports stadium always is, from this green part, you come to a part that is always red like this, that has the lines that the athletes used to run. Okay, those that go for 100 meters, those that go for 200 meters, 600 meters, all the meters, they are running around the earth field. Okay, they are running around the earth field, and if you count their numbers, it's always that there are 8 rows or there are 9 rows. Okay, it's either 8 or 9. Okay, these are your planetary systems that are surrounding your world. Okay, those things, I don't know if I can get them here clearly. Red lines that athletes run through. Not atlas, athletes. It's athletes. Come on, give me a good picture. Okay. Let me get a clear one. Come on, come on, come on, come on. This phone is about to die. Come on, come on. Yeah. No, they don't post it automatically. TikTok. You know, you feel so. Okay, Fato. I plug the phone in. If I plug the phone in, the network will begin to mess up. Okay, that is why usually I don't want to plug it in like that and talk. Okay, the microphone self will I have to take the microphone off. It's level like 18%. So let's explain this one and then we'll call it a night. Okay. So when you look at this, okay, this is exactly how your solar system is arranged. Okay, your solar system is surrounding the sun. So look at this thing very carefully. We are coming back to it. Okay, and if follow the solar system. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Network, come on, come on, come on. Come on, you get that. You get that. Okay, Fata. Okay, so let's continue. Let me explain this. The ancient vault. You're asking about the inhabitants of this world and then that world and their relationship to you. You will understand that when you understand your solar systems. Okay, let's get to that first. Okay, so these are the orbits. Okay, they call them the orbits. The sun is in the middle, as you can see. The sun is in the middle of your solar system, and with the sun came the alignment of every other solar system. This is also exactly like the electronic configuration of your systems. Okay. Be great. You can stare at the sun if the energies inside of your eyes, or the depth inside of your eyes, are cleansed. Last time I made a video on TikTok showing you how to cleanse your eye with castor oil. Go and look at that video, cleanse your eyes, and then you can start doing it gradually. You don't just get up one day. The sun is ultraviolet rays, and if you are activating your eye lenses at an ultraviolet rays, that means that every single one of these lines, you are waking them up. Okay, the part of your eye that is like the different dimension, different colors, brown, what and what, they are reflections of these worlds that are existing inside of yourself. You have the ability to tune your eye frequency to see invisible lights. You understand? You have the frequencies to be able to awaken every other galaxy that exists inside of your eye spectrum, to awaken it from the spiritual side into the physical side. That allows these lines to awaken so that you can see across worlds. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you are talking about looking at the sun. If you are looking at the sun, you are absorbing the energy directly from it, and the energy is activating these things. So if your eyes are not clean enough and then you attempt on looking at the sun, you are going to get blurred visions. Okay, you can just close your eyes and then look directly at the sun. Either way, it is going to penetrate, because the sun is sending energies across every realm that exists within it. Okay, whether you are inside of your room or you are outside of your room, the sun is always reaching out to you. If you are outside, the energy absorption or you being able to absorb is much more than if you are inside. Okay, so the sun gives life to all. Okay, so let me just leave it there and let's continue. All right, so the earth plane, from the sun, the next is the earth. Okay, the earth is manifestation of the moon energies with the sun's electric life. That is why it's G, O, and then D. G-O-D, God. This is the three. G-O-D, generator, the operator, and then the destroyer. The denser part of the moon that is known as the new moon, that is what is much darker than the full moon itself. The full moon is light. The full moon is what is closer to the sun. Ceres, Abraham's wife, which is Sarah. Okay, the closest wife, which is Eve. Okay, Lilith is the denser one. So if you are making requests, and I already explained this, let's continue with that. Okay, so if you look at your star system, this is how it is arranged. Your electric configuration is arranged exactly like this. You have protons, you have neutrons, and then you have electrons. Okay, so when it comes to the playing field, what is this guy asking? Okay, so let's continue. I want to finish this before this phone dies. So this is the sun. The sun is in the middle, and from the sun, then there comes the earth. The earth is the moon. Okay, the earth is the moon. The moon is part of your solar systems. The moon is June, July. When we look at the moon symbol, I already explained that. Okay, it's like dividing this into two, in which there is the yin yang. So the denser part of the moon and then the lighter part of the moon, that is the full moon. The full moon, we have blue moons, we have red moons, we have blood moons, we have copper moons. All of it is a resonance from the original full moon itself. Okay, that is the reflections of the full moon. The full moon is what charges your psychic abilities. So during those particular times, there are huge rituals, there are huge offerings across the world. Okay, the forgotten self, is your soul, which is the full extent of your being. You are only seeing yourself as the denser form, always struggling with the new moon, which at that particular place there is no light. You don't see the light because you are busily distracted by the observations of what the body is offering you. You want things in a denser form. That is why you don't like having sex with condoms. You want to have a raw sex where you can feel the skin. Okay, pleasures that are taking your attention from being going deep into yourself, from becoming light, and then you even start doing the things that will make you mind denser. Start eating the foods that are putting you mind denser. Everything, you are mind denser, killing the light of the soul, and then becoming more physical than you are of balance. So you are all children of the light, born from the darkness. Okay? You are all children of the light, born from the darkness. So this is your solar system. And when it comes to the tracks that you run in the football, okay? Football tracks, atlas tracks. What do you call it? Mm. Mm. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. So let's continue whilst my phone loads because hey Charlie. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. I'm trying to Google this thing. The network is slower than a snail. One time I tell you, snails are very fast though. You see snails? Yeah, yeah, yeah. They are very fast. You see them very slow like that. They are very fast. Let's go. Now put this thing over there. Let me finish this teaching before I start answering these people. Okay. So this is how the tracks line is usually laid. Okay. So after Earth, which is the green part that you play the football, okay, the pitch, is the green part of it. And then the athletes are the other planets that are running around, that are circling the Earth. Okay. You do this every single time. Your Olympic sports, Olympics are game played by the what? The gods, right? So you will know. You see? So these are your track systems. You run around the earth. You circle around the earth. Okay, depending on which of them is faster. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain your football pitch, and then the walls that are surrounding your circle, your solar systems, and they are watching you right now. You people are seeing that everything is physical here, but the spiritual aspect of things, everything is energy. Okay, it has no shape and it has no form. It only has resonance of the colors. Okay, so your aura, your electromagnetic field, whatever energy that it is emitting, you are a condensed form of the sun's frequencies, and then the moon's radiations. So you have all the seven reflections of the rainbow colors. inside of your being. Okay, inside of your system, so you are a color. You are a color being. Okay. So all these colors, is a reflection of the worlds that are outside of yourself, within your very own self. Hey, battery is left with 10%. Okay. They are all the same, the reflections of yourself. So after this, if you look at after the planetary systems, then what comes next? Okay, after the planetary systems of this your solar systems, then what comes next? And I'll go back to the page. The phone to go. Coach it. David, blowing. Okay. Then you come back to the page. Okay, you come back to the page. So after Earth form, you go back to the running. Okay, after escaping from your soul, you score a goal. And when you score a goal, then that is where you run around your star systems again. You start moving. Okay, you can travel freely from one realm into the other and from another realm into another realm. You can travel very freely. Now you've gotten your passport from graduating Earth. Okay, you've gotten your passport from graduating Earth. Now you can move above other celestial bodies, because if you move from this running field, the one thing that you are going to go in next is the fans. Okay, you get the fans, and before you get to the fans, there's always something that is light, a light form. Okay, Nana Fabla, phone. I need to explain this, but I don't want this phone to die. Sports stadium. I'm not talking about this sports stadium. Hey, 9% to hurry up. Let's finish this. Whew. 137 minutes. That's a lot. I'm not even in Boku Municipal. They're telling me Boku Municipal. What am I? This internet things. Come on, load faster. Okay. I want to get the last sports stadium to show you something. Okay, Nana, put this up. Put this up. Before the phone gets 4%. Okay. So after you have moved from Earth plane system, okay, from the green part of yourself, okay, now that you've escaped the matrix, now that you've escaped the existence of this world, you get to the crowd, the place that there's always something that is always in a light form that surrounds the stadium. Okay. Yeah, there's always like this advertisement that goes around. That is the infinite timeline. That is the timeline that you move in. Okay, it's like when you move from Earth, you begin to travel in light speed. You begin to move according from one world to another. Now, like you no longer exist in this particular realm. Charlie, I'm talking about other realms right now. You see the fans, the fan is a representation of the species that are outside of this world, that are looking at you play the game. Okay, they are watching you play the game. Okay, so no matter what you do, as a player inside of this, it's not just one person that is watching you, it's the fans around the entire galaxy. Okay, every other cosmic being that knows the existence of you people, okay, they are watching you. Okay, they are always looking at you. Okay, Earth frequencies can send across your solar systems, across Mars, across Jupiter, across Saturn, across all the systems that exist inside of your body. They can receive information from you and send you information for you to receive, because you have something known as a pineal gland responsible for being able to send all things across the 9 realms. That is the seed, the tree of life within you. It's your 9 realms. Okay, So you are as part of the entire universe as the universe is a part of you. Okay, so when you move from there, the fans are always watching the football, and when you move from the fans, then you go back, you escape the dome. This is like the dome, the representation of this earth realm. Okay, from top here you come down here, from down here you recycle back, electromagnetic movements. Okay, the planetary, the way they move, you move this way and you move that way, both right, left and then right. Okay, so let me pause the teachings here for today. Okay, you think about it and then you study and then you put it into practice. Okay, let me answer this last question. If a person closes his eyes yet and see physical as seen to eyes open, no, open to that person. If you are able to do that, it means your intuitive side of yourself, your pineal gland, you are able to open it. Okay, it's opening. Your imaginative thoughts are beginning to become broad daylight. So if you are that kind of a person, start imagining more. Okay, if you can imagine deep into whatever it is that you actually want to focus your intentions on, start watching cartoons. Okay, to give you an in-depth knowledge about how to begin going within yourself, to actually view your life. Okay, you can start going back to your primary school when you were still back in primary. Okay, go back in memory, relax, find a very good spot, relax, and retrace your memory slowly. Okay, it's a way of activating the dormant neurons inside of your brain. When you are able to retrace your life from one particular aspect of your life to some particular extent, you begin to awaken new neuron systems. Okay, so that is what you can do. So I'm still asking for the camera. Okay, most of you usually say, oh, I will help you, I will help you, and by the end of the day the help never comes. You are always spoiling chances of people helping. Okay, so if you are not always honest to help, please let others do it. Okay, because honestly it usually feels like we are taking money from you, but we are not taking anything, nothing. Okay, we are not taking anything from you. But if you are not learning and you are not also assisting the message to go out there, then you are actually harming us more than you are doing us good. Okay, so have a great night everybody, and then I'll be live whenever I can again. Okay, Steve Mason, I already explained the soul traveling in my video. Okay, go to the recent video. I explained about the soul travel on TikTok. You can go and watch it and then you make a decision for yourself. So good night everybody, I will see you again. Close the book. Hmm.